Okay, this is the real Get Good guide, right? When the game starts, you have certain do's and don'ts, okay? The things you don't want to do at the start of the game is you don't want to go Death Valley, you don't want to go do storage, you don't want to go into Specimen, and you don't want to go Water Wheels, okay? Things you want to do at the start, okay, are your short tasks. Don't come here and do your download. You don't want to do your long tasks. You don't want to do storage. You don't want to do download. You don't want to do your maybe you can do your weapons tasks. Just avoid downloads in the first round generally, or at the beginning of the game. Things you want to do are your short tasks like your wires, your keys, your chart course, like O2 canisters, this task here, I forgot what it's called. Your any of your lab tasks are alright. Your office tasks are good. Your water wheels tasks like node, specimen, those tasks can wait for the next round for the meeting to be killed. No matter how long the game is, you just want to wait until the next round to do certain tasks, like your long tasks. But if it's taking a long time, you know there's other people getting info. Maybe it's okay to go off and do a long task, but generally, when you're in a game, you want to be coming to office, checking vitals every once in a while, okay, coming to admin, checking admin every once in a while, okay, and then going off and doing a task. Maybe once a round, maybe you're like 30 seconds in or 40 seconds in, come to office, check office, come out left side office, do your download or do your weapons, or like come and do your download in O2 or your download in electrical, okay? But so risky tasks like tasks in Death Valley or water wheels or storage, okay, you want to do those at the start of each meeting. At no point in the game you want to be going and doing those tasks and dying there in the middle of a round. Maybe office download is alright at the beginning of the game, okay. Another thing that I would recommend to players is that when you're hard clear, okay, if you have medbay scan, okay, and you get hard cleared, what you want to do is your life is now infinitely more valuable than anyone else's in the lobby, okay. Your tasks are no longer at the top of your list of things to do. The list of things to do now is you just stay alive, okay. Stay around office area or area that you know people are going to be in a lot, okay, because when you get to those lower numbers, you being a hard clear can change the outcome of the game. Another thing about medbay is you want to constantly be conscious that you have medbay, okay. If you're getting accused, immediately claim it, okay. Even if you're not immediately getting accused, just claim it at the start of meetings unless there's something really important being spoken about, okay. Just claim it, don't keep it hidden, because I see sometimes people might hide the fact they have scan so they can catch an imposter trying to claim it, and then half the lobby's already voted them and now they're out the game, which wouldn't have happened if they had just claimed scan straight away. If you have scan, claim it in the meeting straight away. Another thing I see happening a lot with worse players is them going to Speci. There are the right times to go in Speci and there are wrong times to go into Speci. Since they removed pre-running from the game, going to Speci first round is not the play, okay? Going to Speci on 9 is fine, unless there's a 50-50 happening, or someone's claimed scan, or there's a reason that there's going to be a fast button, or something that needs to happen before that, okay? You don't want to go into Specimen then. You can go into Speci on 8. Don't go into Speci on 7 if there are 2 imps alive. If there are 2 imposters alive, Speci is just, don't go there at all. Those tasks can wait for later on in the game, okay. And this storage task, okay. This storage task is probably one of the worst tasks in the game because you have to go all the way into here, which is a dangerous area, all the way up to here, which is a dangerous area, back down to here, all the way over to here. These are the last places that people generally check for a body, okay. So this task, generally I would recommend making the last task you do, okay. Wait, if you can, do the task when you're dead as a ghost, or do it as like the last task in the game when you're on 5 or you're on 4, and like generally hardly anyone has tasks and they're asking you to claim tasks. The right point to do this task when you're in a live crewmate is at the point of the game when someone would be asking you how many tasks you've left. Another thing I see happening a lot when a sabotage gets called, okay, is maybe you're on your download, maybe you're halfway into your download and lights get called. That's fine, finish your download. But once that happens, okay, if you see someone in your vision, say you're on here, you know someone was doing their weapons task, and lights get called while you're on your download and it's about to finish, just as soon as that download finishes, instead of going like to O2, this is why lights are out, or comms, just go and stack on this person. Just go and stack on them and stay on them until lights turn off or turn back on, okay? Because not only are you now going to be able to guaranteed clear that person with a kill, Vitals, the person on Vitals that saw the body die, that goes down to admin, will see 2 weapons and can also clear both of you. But that wouldn't happen if you've just gone and left, so you'd no longer be clear. Another thing I want to mention about lights being out is you don't need to go straight to lights to fix it, okay? Generally, there will be someone in either O2 or ELEC when they get called. If you're in laboratory, office, or left right side-ish of the map, okay, just when lights get called, just huddle towards office, okay? You're allowed to stack in office with lights out, I'm pretty sure, okay? So if you're in labs on your drill or on your temperature task and lights get called, just start running down to office, because you need to gather information for yourself as well as get information from other crewmates in the meeting. So when you're in lab and lights get called, just run down to vitals. If you see a body dead, okay, just run down to admin, see who's in the area, okay? Another place to avoid on 7 with 2 imposters is O2 hallway. You don't want to be going to O2 hallway on 7. If you need to go to ELEC from O2, I would highly recommend, just if you've been in O2 anyway, okay, you should be going back to office to get some info and then going to ELEC, okay? So it's much better that you go around from O2 between weapons and comms up to the node into ELEC than it would be going from O2 to ELEC through ELEC hallway while you're on 7 with 2 imps. Another thing I would recommend is, obviously this is kind of a no-brainer, but gathering as much info as possible. Or even if you can't gather as much info as you can, just make sure you can try and clear one person for a kill, okay? If you see one person in your sight, okay, and there's a sabotage getting called, just follow them, okay? Because if you can clear that one person, that could change the outcome of the whole game, okay? If you know someone was, if you see someone on O2 tree, okay, and you've just done your canisters, and then like a sabotage gets called, just stay with them. Because if you can clear that person, that can change the whole game. Or just try and get them to come towards office, okay, so you can get even more info. Another thing to get better is to gather the most optimum info that you can get is to come to office at the start. Obviously you don't have to do that, you can go to cams at the start, or even doing one of your short tasks at the start, okay? But after you've done like 1 or 2 tasks, okay, say you're in dropship at the start of the game and you run to labs, okay, you do your drill and then you do your telescope, okay? At this point in the game, maybe a player that wasn't that good would run over to ELEC, okay, with no sabotage, when there's been no sabotage call. Or even if there have been a sabotage call and it gets fixed midway while you're coming out of lab, what you want to do is just go straight down to office, okay? And let's say there's no dead body, okay, when you check, just do your common task, do whatever task you have in the office, and then say you have, I don't know, some tasks in O2, you have the communications, you have weapons, and some tasks in ELEC, okay? Instead of doing all of them at once in a bunch, just start your task here, do that task, maybe do your node if you have it down here, or maybe even if you have 3 tasks in O2, you don't have to do them all at the same time. Okay, say you do your trash and you still got 2 tasks in O2, that's fine, just go back to office and check vitals. Okay, because once you go back to office, you now, like, you have better timing on when the body is. Okay, and you might even see it die. Okay, but if there's no body dead, then just sure, go back to O2, do some more tasks, and once you've done those 2 tasks in O2, come back to office. And then if you have some tasks in electrical, go to electrical, do those like 1 or 2 of those tasks, then come back to office. Okay, you want to constantly be around office gathering info. Okay, also another thing about scan, okay, if you claim scan, okay, and you're getting sussed for a kill, you may think, oh, I've just done my node, it will take half a second to do that. Oh, I can do the second part of my vials, it will only take a second and then I'll do my scan. No, if you claim scan and you were sus for a kill, run straight to the scanner. And another thing about scanner is, if you are being sus for the kill, don't wait for someone else to hop on the scanner. Okay, you want to be the first on scanner and let them queue you. Okay, another place you don't want to be going at the start of the game is down here to do this task. And if you do want to do this task, make sure you're standing here as far away from it as possible, as close to the doorway as you can. You don't want to be standing down here, you want to be standing over here when you do it, if you absolutely want to do it. But generally this area I would recommend that you don't go to. And another place I recommend not going to at all in the entire game is to do your second part of water jug. There is no reason whatsoever you should ever be doing this in the middle of a round. Okay, the only point in time you should be doing it is as soon as you've spawned in here after a meeting and going to do it. It takes it takes like 1 second, maybe 2 seconds, and you can just do it at the start of the meeting. It's not worth risking dying here and no one finding your body. Another thing I would not recommend doing it, say you were on the cameras, okay, or you were in electrical, or you were in O2 when comms get called, don't come up to elec or come out of elec and run over a storage. This area here, when comms are off, you generally don't want to go to. Okay, and dropship as a whole, the only time you should be going back to dropship to do these tasks is if you're at the start of the meeting. Okay, another way I've seen people lose lots and lots of games on 7 is when there's multiple people claiming scan, okay, and everyone goes to the scanner, and then one crewmate goes to electrical, and then the killer kills, and then they camp the body and they get a double kill, and you lose on 7 to a triple kill because everyone was in O2. The only, if you hear more than one person claim they have the scan, okay, you don't have it, don't go to medbay. Okay, you just want to let the scanners go to medbay and no one else. Your job at that point is to fix lights or stay on vitals or button. Okay, so take you're on 7, so there's 2 imps, so there's 5 crew, 2 of them's claim scan, them 2 go to scanner, that leaves 3 crewmates alive. Okay, other crewmates that aren't having the scanner. Okay, those 3 crewmates should have the jobs of fixing lights, being or buttoning / being on vitals. Buttoning / being on vitals is basically the same job, because you want to stay on button anyway, and if lights do get called, then run to vitals. Okay, but if the crewmates are doing their job, lights should get fixed by the time you're here, so just run straight back into button. So on no circumstance should all the crewmates be going to labs when they claim scan. You don't need to verify that they scanned. Unless they're a pair, that's a different story. There's always special cases for every single thing that I've said in this video. But generally, if 2 or more people are claiming scan, you don't need to go there to verify it, because they can't be a pair. Another thing I see kind of bad players do is hard accusing the wrong people or accusing someone of venting. Okay, 1, unless you actually saw the vent animation, okay, and there has been a kill, so sorry, I messed that up. So unless you actually saw the vent animation or there has been a kill, don't hard accuse someone of venting, especially on the bathroom vent over here. Okay, another thing about hard accusing, unless you see them vent or you see them slice someone's throat, don't hard accuse them. There is always a chance that someone could be on vital, they could see a body on vitals, they run over it to go to admin, or there's a body here and they saw the body down at vitals and they run over it to go to admin. You don't need to hard accuse someone. Okay, hard accusing is not always right. You can be wrong because someone may mess up. Okay, don't hard accuse someone unless you saw them slice the throat or vent. Also, another thing is that on 4 or 5, okay, and you're stacking, don't leave your stack. Even if you've, say you're in communication, say your stack is going to communications, okay, and you're like, oh, I have the node down here, let me go do that node and then come back. Under no circumstance you should leave the stack. You can get the stack to come with you, or you can do those tasks later, okay, unless maybe you have like 1 minute left, maybe 2 minutes left on the timer, then maybe leave the stack. Okay, but if you have plenty of time, okay, never ever leave the stack. Okay, let them finish their tasks, they'll eventually go to your area, or you can lead them to the area you need to do tasks. Okay, never ever leave the stack, especially going to a location no one's going to find you. Okay, say you're on 4, okay, and lights are out, the only places you should be when you're on 4 and lights are out at the beginning of the round is either this area here in office, this area here in office, okay, this like mouse area I'm following to the path to electrical. Okay, this is the only area you should be at the start of a round when lights go out. You should not be going to the lab, you should not be above storage, you should not be in specimen. Okay, another thing about specimen is that patience is key. If you know or you think there's someone camping, like here, waiting to kill you, don't be afraid to just sit in specimen for the whole round, okay? Because not only will you be clear for the kill, you won't die to someone in specimen hallway, allowing them to get a second kill. And if you are going to go into speci, make sure you see multiple people, make sure multiple people see you going into specimen, okay? And when you are in decontam and coming out, make sure, don't be down here, don't be over here, don't be over here. Make sure you're always up against this door the whole time. Not only can the people in admin see your name, okay, they can see who kills you in there if there is a killer in there with you, okay. If there is an imposter waiting on this side of the door, unless they are the host of the game, your body will always be glitched outside of the doorway if you're holding W going upwards. Okay, so when you're in specimen, just always be up against this door holding W as if waiting to come out. Okay, and when you come out of specimen, it wouldn't hurt to check admin table. Okay, even if you won't remember much, just check it. You're coming out of specimen, you're not gonna lose anything. Also, speaking about checking admin, okay, if you're going through office, always check vitals. For there is no reason when you're running through office you can't just check vitals quickly to see if there's a body, or coming from this way, just check vitals. No harm in that. You get a lot of info by opening it. There's no reason you shouldn't be doing it.